Picture this. It's 3 a.m. under a countywide fire ban in California, and the HOA president is standing in my orchard with gasoline cans and road flares. Victoria Ramstein, the self-appointed queen of Sunset Ridge Estates, personally torched my grandfather's 70-year-old heritage apple trees while I was 400 miles away in Phoenix, holding my dying father's hand in a sterile ICU room. The air choked with the smell of burning sap mixed with accelerant, flames shooting 30 feet high, turning 7 decades of family history into ashen hours. She called it emergency fire prevention during the worst wildfire season the state had seen in years, while real blazes were devouring half of California. My name is Garrett Holloway. I'm 52, an apple farmer squeezed into suburban hell on 3.5 acres of land my grandfather planted back in 1954. 47 rare heritage varieties, Gravensteins, Pippins, Arkansas Blacks, trees that supplied Michelin-starred restaurants in L.A., weekend farmers markets, and a small U-pick in fall. After my divorce, my ex got the house in town. I got the orchard, the mortgage, and every other weekend custody of my 14-year-old twins, Maya and Connor. Those trees were all I had left of something real. The morning mist drifting through the branches smelled like my grandfather's hands. Earthy, sweet, with that sharp promise of autumn. The rough bark under my palms, the whisper of wind through leaves. It was the only thing that kept me grounded some nights. Then came the McMansions of Sunset Ridge Estates, built between 2008 and 2012, houses priced from $900,000 to $1. $2 million, full of Bentley engines at dawn and the endless whine of leaf blowers. Victoria Ramstein, 48, HOA president for 3 years straight, drove a white Escalade worth more than my annual income. Her lawn so chemically perfect it practically glowed. She smelled like vanilla perfume, fighting a losing war against cigarette smoke and something medicinal. Turns out she was stealing prescription painkillers from elderly neighbors during her so-called wellness checks. Her nails always tapping. On her phone, her steering wheel, the podium at meetings, constant nervous energy from someone hiding massive problems behind suburban perfection. It started small, psychological warfare disguised as neighborly concern. I'm not against agriculture, she'd say at meetings, but property values and family neighborhoods require aesthetic standards. Translation: your trees are ugly and costing me money. Then, the formal attacks. Agricultural nuisance complaints claiming my orchard attracted rodents and dropped neighboring values by $73,000 per house. She used her husband's failing law firm to file everything, hiding their real strategy behind attorney-client privilege. I dug deeper and found her desperation. She bought her McMansion for $1. $2 million, but owed $1. For $1 million after an adjustable rate mortgage reset. If values didn't jump 15% by December, foreclosure loomed. County records, file form AR-440, $25 fee, showed exactly how underwater she was. She convinced herself my unsightly farm was the only barrier to her financial rescue. Irony. My little orchard sat on an underground spring worth $2. $3 million to beverage companies, something she never researched. The real escalation hit during fire season. Half the state already burning, everyone paranoid about wildfire risk. 2 weeks into the ban, she called the fire marshal claiming my orchard violated defensible space rules. The marshal who showed up, Derek Kowalski, dating her Pilates instructor. Small-town corruption at its finest. He cited me for tall grass, pruning debris, an old wooden fence, $500 per day, fines after 30 days. I photographed his violations on her property and the board members. Fountain grass, too close to houses, wooden decks, cedar shake roofs. I filed complaints against all 6 board members using his own criteria. If my century-old farm was a hazard, their landscaping was a bomb. Victoria retaliated hard. She formed a community safety committee to monitor my property, parking at my edge, documenting every customer, every truck, every tractor start. Her Escalade idling at my line during market hours. Exhaust mixing with ripe apple sweetness until customers avoided me. My daughter Maya noticed, "Dad, why does that lady keep staring?" That's when I installed motion-activated trail cameras, the kind for deer hunting, with cellular backup that couldn't be jammed. Footage showed her and board members doing midnight surveys, moving my 1954 iron corner stakes 18 inches toward my house. She filed papers claiming my most valuable trees encroached on community land and demanded removal. But my grandfather documented everything. Original 1954 survey maps proved the stakes were untouched. Her prize gazebo, 8 feet onto my property. Walking the true line with those documents felt like justice breathing for the first time. She sued for adverse possession, demanded $47,000 in fees, 2 years of my earnings. She harassed my customers, spread lies online about contaminated fruit and pesticides. 3 restaurant clients canceled, income halved. My irrigation failed, trees wilted. Watching them die felt like losing my grandfather again. Then the discoveries. Her wellness checks left elderly neighbors missing meds. 11 victims over 18 months. Mrs. Henderson hospitalized for withdrawal. Victoria's name flag in insurance fraud databases. Same scams in Nevada, Arizona, Texas. Join HOA boards, create emergencies, file claims, pocket differences. Bank records showed HOA paid her brother-in-law $31,000 for emergency landscaping, but reported $23,000, $8,000 to her, as consulting fees. At an HOA meeting, I presented evidence. Board members denied approving big payments. Her forged minutes crumbled. Her hands shook, popping pills she called vitamins. Desperation reeked thicker than her perfume. Her biggest mistake, timing my father's stroke. Her brother at the cell store monitored my calls for months. She knew I'd be gone. At 2 a.m., I raced 400 miles through smoke-filled highways to say goodbye. While I held my father's cooling hand, he passed at 6:47 a.m. Her crew, with chainsaws, grinders, chippers, arrived at 11:58 p.m. They jammed my main cameras, cut power. But trail cams with battery backup recorded everything. Victoria directing like a general, smiling as the Gravenstein my grandfather plan of the year I was born fell. 31 trees gone in 4 hours, reduced to diesel-scented chips. She filed $23,000 insurance for prevention, while paying $31,000 from HOA funds. Sloppy. I found Mrs. Patterson's stolen OxyContin bottle in the chips, half empty. But she doubled down, complained I should pay for the cleanup of my dangerous property. Standing in sawdust graves, bottle in hand, watching footage, I realized criminals leave traces. Federal agents, FBI, white-collar, DEA, had watched her for 18 months, $300,000 plus stolen across states. My orchard destruction was the final piece. They needed her to hang herself publicly. I played defeated farmer while wiretaps caught everything. I rebuilt, not trees first, but a $10,000 gallon fire suppression system. Sprinklers, retardants, accelerant sensors, auto alert to dispatch. Bare earth from the destruction created a fire break. Underground spring gave water access. She planned one last arson during extreme Santa Ana winds. 70 miles per hour, red flag warnings. Wiretaps captured her confessing. Gasoline, flares, blame my irrigation, claim the water-rich land. She recruited her brother-in-law's crew for $20,000 cash. Friday night, November 15th. Agents watched her pour accelerant, light flares at 11:45 p.m. Flames raced toward my property. She celebrated. Make it look natural. Insurance will call it accidental. 12:03 a.m. Wind shifted. Santa Ana updrafts reversed. Flames turned, racing into Sunset Ridge's fountain grass, cedar mulch, junipers, napalm landscaping. Her lawn ignited first, chemical fertilizers fueling a carpet of fire toward her McMansion. She screamed at 911, "Save my house. It's not supposed to burn here." Firefighters arrived. She reeked of gasoline, demanding priority. Captain confronted her. Agent Santos cuffed her on-site. Federal arson, conspiracy, fraud, racketeering. By dawn, 12 houses charred. Mine survived. Suppression system, bare earth, spring water. Her carrier denied claims. Accomplices liable for $14. $2 million. 6 months later, Victoria got 12 years, no parole. Husband 6 for conspiracy. Law firm disbanded. Assets seized for victims. My restitution, $680,000 plus water rights worth millions. I kept them for community fire protection. New HOA bylaws protected agriculture. Orchard rebuilt bigger. Maya and Connor moved back permanently. A new Gravenstein blooms where the old one stood. White as wedding lace, scent mixing with mist. From ashes grew scholarships, fire safety programs, a resilience festival. Victoria's case became federal training, a Netflix doc. New laws, Garrett's Law, prevent emergency overrides without oversight. You can't burn what's rooted deep. When someone tries to destroy you, sometimes the best revenge is growing back stronger and helping others do the same. The wind chimes in Maya's tree play a melody that sounds like justice, finally learning to sing. Bell subscribe for more chaotic HOA stories. Speech balloon, what would you do if this happened to you? Drop it below. Warning disclaimer. These are fictionalized narratives inspired by real-life themes, created for entertainment. No real events, names, or people intended. Pure coincidence if anything matches.